Hey everyone, I'm Danny and welcome to Wizardry Workshop. In this video, we are going to be making floating jack-o'-lanterns just like the ones you see in the Great Hall. This video is another collaboration with Raven's Minis. You can find her here on YouTube. I will link that down below. She makes amazing miniatures, like Harry Potter themed miniatures. I highly recommend you check out her video, which I'm gonna do as soon as this video drops. I'm gonna head over to her channel and check out her video. Basically, the way these collaborations work between Raven's Minis and myself is we just come up with a theme and then we each do our own thing with that theme, and then we get to see what each other came up with afterwards, and it turns out really cool. As Raven's Minis, she does minis, so I know she's doing like some miniature scene probably with the pumpkins floating there, so that's gonna be really cool to see. I decided to go with an actual floating pumpkin, like, you know, a real pumpkin, and see how we can make it float. You can use any size pumpkin for this. I decided to go with a small one, so I got a pie pumpkin. I'm planning on hanging this from like a shepherd's hook out in my yard. So that's probably not the best idea for a full pumpkin, but maybe, I don't know. Give it a try. As always, I do have free templates to go along with this if you want your jack-o'-lantern to look pretty close to what they actually look like in the Harry Potter films. So go ahead and check out the description box for all the supplies you're gonna need to make this DIY, as well as the free downloadable templates, and let's get started. As for the templates, it's pretty simple. It's just a Hogwarts jack-o'-lantern, and I do have two sizes. This is for a full-size pumpkin, and this is for a pie pumpkin. You could scale it however you want though when you print it, depending on your pumpkin. Just go ahead and measure it. I'm going to assume that everybody knows how to hollow out a pumpkin to make a jack-o'-lantern, so I don't need to show you how to do that. Let's go ahead and get that part out of the way, and then we'll continue. And now that we've all hollowed out our pumpkins, it's time to start making our jack-o'-lantern. Before we start carving the face, flip your pumpkin upside down, get out your carving tools or whatever you have handy, and put a small hole in the bottom of your pumpkin, no larger than the width of a pencil. I know everyone knows how to carve a jack-o'-lantern, but I'll give you a few tips. Trim the template down and line it up where you want it on your pumpkin, although this one might be a little small. I'm gonna make this a little bigger, so in the templates, there'll actually be 3 versions: large, medium, and small. I'll be back. That's more like it. Tape the template on where I want the face. I then grab a toothpick or anything you could really do this with, and I'm just going to start popping holes where I want to do my cuts. Actually, a tack might work better. I didn't have a tack nearby, but I do have a really big needle, so that'll do it too. Okay, now with all that done, we can take this off. You can keep your template somewhere nearby if you need a reference. And now we can start cutting. I strongly dislike the smell of like pumpkins. Like carving a pumpkin, it's kind of stinky. Let me know what you think about the smell of pumpkin carving in the comments. Now, the reason I didn't just draw the shape on here, and the reason I did the connect the dots type thing, I didn't want to have like marker lines or whatever around it. Even with dry erase markers, I found that they just kind of stick to the pumpkin skin. And there, look how beautiful it is. Looks even cooler with the top on. Now, to make this bad boy actually float, we are going to need a few random things that will make sense soon. So first of all, a lid, just a plastic lid of some kind. This one's a little bit flimsy. I would want one a little sturdier than this, but I believe it will work, and it's going to be easier to cut than something that is, you know, thicker. So we're going to put a hole in the middle of our lid, and if yours has like a lip around it like that, we can go ahead and cut the lip off. So a little something like this will do it. We also need a button. The bigger, the better for this button. And lastly, we will need some clear, transparent illusion cord. Fishing line will work too. I haven't done anything with fishing line like that, but this illusion cord works really well. So we're gonna need a lot of this, and it's gonna be really hard for me to show you because it's basically invisible. It's always best to cut off more than you need instead of less than you need. You don't want your cord to get tangled. So just grab one end of the cord and make sure the rest of it just is loose out there and not getting tangled up. And then we're gonna thread our button. What you want is for your button to be threaded about halfway down the cord. Now at this point, we're going to put a knot here so that the button stays right in the center of our illusion cord. This is going to be a super easy project too. We're almost done. So we'll take the other end of the cord here and put it through that little hole we made in our circular piece of plastic. This is going to serve as the base. And now we bring this stinky guy out and we put this cord through that hole we made in the bottom and pull it. Again, make sure that it doesn't tangle. And we'll just pull until it gets right up to the bottom. And if you flip it over, you can see this is kind of how it works. This serves as a base. The button holds the thread. And then we do need to now make a couple of holes on either side on the very top of your pumpkin, on the lid part. Just make sure that it's pretty straight and pretty much as close to the middle as you can get it, because you don't want your jack-o'-lantern to sit kind of crooked. And we're gonna put one thread through each one of those holes. So here's one coming through this hole, and then we're gonna do the other through the other side. With both of those threaded through, let's go ahead and make a knot in our invisible illusion cord. You probably have two questions at this point. How am I going to put a candle in there? It's going to melt the cord. That's what these little LED tea lights are for. Question number two you probably had is, what were the needle nose pliers for? Well, nothing. I thought I might need them for something maybe, so that's why they were there. So let's go ahead and turn on our tea light, put it in the pumpkin, and see how it looks. And here is the finished floating pumpkin. That looks really cool, especially it being a real pumpkin. It just makes it look way cooler than if it were a fake pumpkin. Let me know what you guys thought of this DIY project. I think this turned out really cool, and it's super easy to do and super cheap to make. And next year, I mean, you can just save the parts that you made, and then next year just put it in a different pumpkin. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I think I'm gonna do multiple of these this year and have them hanging out outside my house. If you made it all the way to the end of the video with me, you're a wizard, Harry. Give it a thumbs up down below if you did like this video, and subscribe if you're not subscribed for more Harry Potter DIYs and unboxings and other magical content like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you in the next video.